only thing that would happen is like if I was like, oh yeah, Quincy hates your fucking guts.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Maybe I do. Maybe I do hate her.
I mean, you're not the one that said some stupid shit. Let's be real. That's all me. It's part of the reason I feel bad.
Eh.
I can say stupid shit.
You can. You aren't exactly known for it, but you could potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's the dumbest thing Quincy's ever said? Let's be real.
There's
Just in
there's been some
general.
things. There's been some things.
Be a pretty weak.
I never say anything too stupid.
You know what the dumbest thing
Nah,
Quincy ever
yeah,
said?
that
Realistically.
he that he didn't like Mariah.
No. The dumbest thing Quincy ever said is, "Welcome to the Gotcha Gang podcast, episode whatever the fuck this is. I think it's 33. It could be
I want
32.
to say 32. Oh shit, my
Um,
phone's not on vibrate.
oh, you had ample warning.
I did.
Um,
I did. I did. Don't judge me. Hold on.
this is the most
Wait.
consistently
Wait.
inconsistent thing that we
All right,
did,
redo.
as evidenced by the man who can't mute his goddamn phone.
Hey, I didn't get a notification, so it's fine. If
That
I didn't say
man,
anything, nothing would have happened.
that man's name is Edison. Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, and the man who says really stupid shit is his name is Quincy. Say hello.
Quincy's muted
Why is Quincy muted?
because he's probably texting or talking to Mariah.
God,
I'm not texting or talking to Mariah.
we're just gonna keep throwing you under that bus.
Well, I mean, it's the only reason why he would really be muted. Either that or he's on his phone. And usually, when he's on his phone and when he has a girlfriend, it's usually because he's talking to his girlfriend,
That's
either by
true.
texting or on call. So sorry for making a educated assumption.
Um, I'm your host this week, Derek. I am recovering from a cold, so my voice is not 100%. I
Damn, that's crazy.
apologize. I also
Couldn't
can't
do it.
hear out of one ear,
Dang.
so
But he can shit right now.
I can shit finally.
Yay, small.
I mean, I don't consider it a victory.
It's a victory. Just as a normal functioning human being, it is a victory.
Nah,
We consider it a victory. We're happy for you.
don't be.
I mean, Quincy sounds the least happy by saying that still.
I know he's very low energy. It's been a few.
We are very happy for
I appreciate that. It's been a few weeks since we've talked to each other. In fact, I think it was the 4th that we last talked to each other. It's been like 17 days. It's been more than 2 weeks since we were
Dang,
all
two
in
whole
a
weeks.
party. So A, when Quincy was like, "Hey, you free to play games later?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't played games or talked to you guys in ages." And I thought it was
It
just
was
gonna be
it was
that.
strictly to do this.
It was strictly for the fucking podcast. And I'm like, I got
He
bamboozled
doesn't
into
he doesn't
business.
actually he doesn't actually want to
Nah.
play games.
Quincy doesn't give two shits about friendship.
I wanted to play Fortnite. I cared.
Um, what the fuck was that? Who's tapping their mic?
Oh, that was me. I wasn't tapping my mic. I was tapping my forehead. I'm sorry. I didn't think that would pick up so loud.
um,
It
so
wasn't that loud to me.
I
Derek
I
has
heard,
super hearing,
I
clearly.
heard I can only hear out of one ear. I
Super.
shouldn't have been able to hear it.
Nah, I got super hearing. Look at this guy. He's a superhero.
So
Superhero.
what? Let's start with games. What's everybody been playing?
Oh shit! What have I been playing?
Final Fantasy and Baldur's Gate.
Ed, you
Oh,
start.
okay. I mean, the usual Honkai Star Rail, that's usually on my list of things that I'm playing. Got back into Baldur's Gate and Final Fantasy 14. Critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14 with award-winning expansion Heaven Sword and free expansion Stormblood available for everybody. And yeah, been playing that, having a good time. got back into it, trying to get through Stormblood so I can get a Rathalos mount, and also getting the Shadowbringers so I can be able to help Quincy with the 2B raid whenever he gets the Shadowbringers also. When that'll be at the pace that we're going, probably in the next decade.
Slow as fuck.
I mean, there's ebbs and flows, We get distracted. But also Baldur's Gate, trying to get through Act 2, almost done with that, I guess. I think Moonrise Tower is the end of Act 2. Had some interesting little things happening. Quincy pretended to drink with somebody until they exploded.
That was fun.
I talked somebody made out of gold into exploding. Completely by accident. Didn't think that they were going to explode, but they did. I got yanked into an abyss by a tentacle monster. And yeah, Quincy got smited by paladins multiple times.
Everyone did.
Yeah, you got smited by like the big boss dude though. You got one shot.
Fuck him.
I mean, yeah.
He was too.
Quincy finally let his pixie slave go in that game.
You had a
It was
pixie
the right thing to
slave?
do.
Yeah, Quincy had a pixie slave.
See, I wouldn't call it a slave. I found an item that helped us illuminate the dark. It just happened to be powered by a pixie.
And within
okay.
that, when we already had the blessing, he decided to still keep the pixie and not set her free. and kept her all the way until right before the final boss, where he finally let her go in a room where they would make those pixie lanterns. And yeah. So she had been yelling at us almost every time we woke up from a long rest and randomly on adventures. She'd say very mean, rude, and aggressive things.
She wasn't. She shouldn't have been mean to me. That's all.
She wasn't mean to you. Tortured her. You turned the thing, didn't you?
No. You turned the thing. I didn't.
You put her in your pocket.
Those fucking children, man.
Yeah. What about it?
Okay, you had no reason to put her in your pocket. We had the blessing already.
You know what? Then she showed her true colors. I sensed the two-faced bitch. And of course,
you only knew she was aggressive because of when I turned the thing and she got mad.
No, even if I didn't see that, I was like, this sounds a little crazy. Then bada boom, I tried to put her in my pocket. I was like, you know what? I'll decide later. And then she was like, "Don't you fucking do it!" I'm like, she was.
Yeah, okay. Wouldn't you be upset at somebody trying to put you in their pocket? So some stranger.
I'd be a little more nicer to him. I'd be a little nicer.
So some stranger comes along. You've been held by this, let's just say, psychotic entity and everything that's been torturing you. Though some stranger comes along, beats that entity, picks your cage up, essentially, talks to you. You give them information. It's like, yeah, I'm this. I'm Quincy. Yada yada yada. And then, you're like, hey, if you set me free, I can give you a gift and everything. And instead of them setting you free, they're like, nah, and they go to put you in their pocket, and you're like, hey, yo, whoa, wait, no. And then they look at you again to contemplate setting you free or not, and then they're like, nah, I'm gonna just keep you in my pocket. And then you go in there. Wouldn't you be upset? I'd be upset.
Sound like a two-faced bitch to me.
Wow. I don't think that's two-faced.
She was talking in all cute riddles, and then
because she was like, set me free.
It's no. I feel like she was the cute riddles was her being nice, trying to convince me I'm a good person. Set me free. Because when you set her free without any recourse, she still comes out and still talks to you kind of meanly. So she was lying from Jump Street. Because as soon as you set her free, all the cute fairy rhyming goes away. She talks like she's a fucking hardened chick from the Bronx.
It's hard out here for a pixie, bro. Like, come on. Huh?
Yeah, nah, dog. Two-faced bitch.
All right, man.
And she belonged in my pocket.
She didn't, but okay.
eventually I did let her out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a bad person. The end.
He's a pretty bad
I
person.
mean,
But yeah,
he said that kind
that's
of
what we
No,
did.
I'm
convincingly.
not.
I believe
No,
him.
I'm not.
You're convinced by that
Hey,
argument. We're glad you're never the judge when it comes to Gotcha Gang Court. This
Sounds
nigga would say
legit.
this Quincy would murder like 12 different people, and Derek would have him be like, "Oh, how do you plead?" He'd be like, "Listen, I'm not going to deny that I did it, but I'm sorry. I won't do it again."
Well, he's
And
sorry.
and Derek, yeah, Derek would be like, "Well, he said sorry, so just let him go." I mean, he's pretty convincing to me. Meanwhile, he's murdered like five of my children and my two wives that I've had. And it's like, you just gonna let him free?
Yeah, yeah, why not? He sounds
sounds
fine to
like
me.
bitches who simp for Klaus.
By
No,
the way, speaking of Klaus, did you know that the actor is going to be a main character for season 2 of the Halo show?
wow.
That's crazy. He was the main character of the third season of Titans. He played Brother Blood.
Oh, look at that. Look
Oh,
at him,
is he
still
Brother
involved with
Blood?
blood.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's Brother Blood.
Look at him, still involved with blood. Just can't get away. Can't get away.
Right?
Maybe he's
At
still a
least
maybe
in
he is actually a real vampire.
hopefully Halo. Hopefully in Halo he's not doing.
I need to watch it. Season 1 is
Are there
free.
vampires in Halo?
No, no.
Titans?
There's vampires in Titans. There's vampires in DC.
Wait, are you talking about? Are you
Oh,
talking
no, no,
about
no. I need
Titans
to watch
or?
Halo. I need to watch Halo. Halo,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Halo,
Because I was like, Titans isn't bad.
Halo is free on the Paramount Plus YouTube channel before season 2 comes out, and it comes out the beginning of February. So if
that's
you
nice.
if you're really interested, it's there. It's there.
It's there. All right, cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool, cool.
gonna be fine. Never really was a big Halo,
I
but
was.
I'm happy for the people, even though I heard it's pretty mediocre show. But to each their
Crazy.
own.
It's
Wow.
funny when it first came out. I heard really bad things, and then over time, I've heard that it's a lot better than people gave it credit for. Like, because word of mouth has seemed to
Hmm.
spread it a lot more, and that's part of the reason that it even got a season 2 is like they were very confident in it, and
Yeah.
it underperformed incredibly poorly. So I don't know. We'll
Hate to
see.
see it, man.
You do hate to see it. You
Crazy.
really do.
Couldn't be me. All I'm saying.
Sure, it could have.
Hopefully, the Fallout series and isn't play is it Ghost of Tsushima? Some PlayStation getting a series. I might be Ghost of Tsushima, but I know there's a Fallout. There's a Fallout TV show. There's The Last of Us is getting season 2, which I probably won't watch. The second, and uh, yeah, I think that's the only gaming show I think of. It's killing me. I can't remember the PlayStation one. Is it Ghost of Tsushima? I remember it got greenlit and everything. Like it's happening. No, God of War. There's a God of War TV show.
Oh, is it based on the newer games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Peppa Pig is.
Peppa
Well, is
Pig is
that
certified
all,
hit classic.
Edison?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, video game wise, I don't really be playing much else.
Mm.
All right. For me, playing some Fortnite, playing, got on Final Fantasy Endwalker, did some things, getting used to Sage. Sage is weird. It's all preemptive healing, and then
Hmm.
I'm not used to preemptive healing. I want to heal when the tank needs it, not heal before, because I feel like it requires a certain amount of like knowledge or clairvoyance in which I have. So I'd much rather heal when someone needs to be heal when you think they need to be.
Then play White Mage.
I play Astro, White Mage with you. Uh, I got back into Honkai and playing Star Rail.
Mm.
Kefla banner is up,
Kefka, yeah, Kefka banner is up.
and Kefka banner is up, and I am at 50, 60, 60 wishes at least deep. So that means I'm
Mm.
close to my pity. So, but I also have to win the 50. So I gotta get pity and win my 50, and then I'll get
And whoever logs
Kefka.
in currently can get Doctor Ratio.
Doctor
Oh yeah,
Ratio.
Doctor Ratio. He's
Yeah,
actually
free
really
five
good.
star character.
He's really good.
Mm.
Yeah, he's imaginary. The hunt is pretty good. He's already basically my main, the best person I have that does imaginary. Ed at least has
Isn't
to
it?
evolve Dan Hung.
I was like, don't you? Isn't he
He
the
does
only
imaginary.
nigga that does imaginary? That's an actual DPS.
That's the only. I only have two people that do imaginary.
Yeah,
Dan
one of them's
Hung
a
is the best.
support.
The other one is basically. Other than that, work towards my platinum in Avengers. I one more trophy, and it's being a bitch and a half to get. Uh, Trickling. Hopefully, it's not bugged. I'm at the point where I'm bugged because I had to do 50.
Mm.
Who knows? Re-download of Far Cry 6. Derek, when you get more deeper Supernatural, we'll do Supernatural Simulator in Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
In a
It's gonna
couple
be
years.
great. Yeah, I wouldn't say a couple of years. You don't have to finish it. It's just get a little bit first, and then you'll respect Supernatural.
I
It's
genuinely don't have a way of watching it right now, so there's that.
man.
The internet exists.
Yeah, it does. I I I don't have the level of investment either right now, so but maybe one day. I don't hate the show, so I when I say maybe one day, I do mean it. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna make you guys feel better. No, I genuinely um I genuinely think that I'll get into it. So I'm not right now, for sure.
Okay, that's fine. Other than that, uh, I did download and beat the DLC for Forspoken, and it ends off on like
You talked about
sigh.
the DLC. You talked about that on a previous
Bad
podcast.
game is trash.
It was because the way that the way that the game goes, summarize it super quickly, is that there are these leaders that rule the land, like the continent
Spoilers.
that you're on, and the leaders are called Taunters. Spoilers. They're called Taunters. Taunters were good people, but they started turning evil for whatever reason. And in the DLC, there's this mysterious voice guiding you, and you're just like, oh, okay, we don't know who this voice is. And at the end, they're like, I'm a Tanta of Reading, which is the enemy camp. So it's like I didn't know the enemies had Taunt. So then it's like, well, you have to meet me in Reading. Holy shit, we have to go to Reading, and I was like, this is never happening.
Oh, I see. That does kind of suck, especially that they would tease you
Yeah,
like that.
because like the way that they made it seem story was that the main like continent were the only ones that had taunted, and and the Reading they started attacking them because they wanted their land. It's a huge like political, and so I'm just thinking like if they then you have to ask questions. If they had tauntas, why did they need Soros? Why did they make the weapon Soros if they had tauntas? Tauntas are really powerful. So I'm just like, yo, there's so many questions I don't never get.
Hmm. That that's
But
that's
yeah,
like how I felt about Mass Effect Andromeda. Like everything in the main game was leading up to DLC that we never got.
I guess. Well, honestly, like I, I'm I'd be happier if we didn't get the because because the way that the main story ends is like fulfilling. Like it ends with you saving the land, and then all the Tantas are gone. So since you figure out that you're a daughter of a Tanta, you're like, I'm the new Tanta of the land. So you're the new, like, basically ruler of Athia.
Okay.
And like that's how it ends. It's like, okay, that's cool, that's basically put a nice. But then we got the DLC, and then it's fuck.
Yeah.
Uh, other than that, That's all I really. That's all game wise.
Um,
Logan deserved another chance.
it's gonna be okay, Big Cat. Your game will, your game will get it one day. I promise. Oh,
It won't.
I can't make
No,
that
it's not.
promise.
It
No,
won't.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. The other games, like, I'm happy. Well, Deus Ex was considered a good game, so I knew Deus Ex was gonna get a sequel when
Yeah.
Revolution got Mankind Divided. So I knew that was gonna happen. But like, Remember Me, that's probably never getting a sequel.
Yeah, it gets a lot of
Even
a lot
though
of
it doesn't really
attention.
need a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Remember Me, there's nothing going to happen with that because technically Capcom owns and they're not going to do anything with it. It's like, why would they? The game didn't do well and don't not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're coming out with Banishers. Can't wait to play Banishers, but it's coming in February, and February is a fucked up month for gamers.
Well,
Yeah, man. If you want to get every game that comes out in February, you gotta have like $630.
yeah,
Yeah, you better.
every year.
I narrowed it down. I narrowed it down to 3 games. I'm gonna get Helldivers 2. I'm gonna
Mhm.
get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I'm gonna get Banishers.
That
Everything
means that
else,
you
if I
only
can't get
need
other things,
$210.
well, Banishers is only like no, Helldivers is only like 40, and I think Banishers is only 50.
Okay, so you only need $160.
Yeah, and they're not coming out all next. Helldivers comes out the first week, Banishers comes out the middle, and Final Fantasy comes out the last week. So I don't need to buy them like all in the same week too. So luckily, the games that I want are spread apart.
There you go.
Feel sorry for these other guys, yeah.
I think most people pick a game. They don't try and do them all at once.
I mean, most people, yeah, don't try to do them all at once. I think the only time I did 2 back to back was when I bought Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball Fighter.
Hmm. That.
Like I bought Fighters and I bought.
Yeah,
That's.
but you think our roles would have been reversed. I would have bought Fighters first, and Quincy would have bought Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense because you would have been you were more hype for Monster Hunter, and I was more hype for Fighters. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, as time progresses, one person becomes the bigger fan later on in life, but, like, you don't start that way.
Yeah, I remember when Fighters came out, I literally played until the sun came up.
Damn.
It
Good
was
times
addictive.
because it
He
dropped
was
at like
beating
I
my
got to
ass.
download it at 9, and I played it till the sun came up. And that shit was. And I didn't regret anything either because I didn't have to go to work. Things so I was mad chilling because I was doing the story. The story was so good, and I remember I was way to like the endish of the second arc, and I was like, man, this third arc is going to be great. It was. That third arc is trash. Hot doo doo water. I don't know how it's just like the first arc was like this is cool. The second arc was like this is amazing. The third arc is like y'all didn't even try.
Trying is for squares.
Yeah, but good game, fun times. I don't think last February. I don't think I got. There wasn't a lot that I wanted last February. Like I think Noel got me Elden Ring for my birthday.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, because
Yeah.
Elden Ring came out in February, but I was like, I'm not really a Souls fan like that. So I was like, I don't know when I'll touch this. I will touch it because that's the same thing when I bought Bloodborne. It's just kind of seen it. I was like, I will play this eventually, and eventually came around. Same thing with Elden Ring. I eventually will come around, and I will actually go through. It's just I don't know when that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um.
so oh, I bought Armored Core February. I think that's the only game I bought in February.
Oh, was that
Last
a
year.
year ago at this point?
Yeah, Armored Core was in February.
Yep.
Holy
Armored
shit!
Core
I
and Baldur's
still
Gate. That
haven't
was a
touched it.
whole.
Yeah, and I remember the whole thing. I said if Armored Core was co-op, but it's not. And I was like, if I'd have known Armored Core wasn't co-op, I would have got Baldur's and then got on.
Yep. Pretty crazy.
Shit.
Yep, it's been a year. Baldur's Gate and
Baldur's Gate
uh,
wasn't February, was it?
it was around
Bal-
that time
no, wasn't Baldur's Gate like August or September?
because I remember saying the whole thing. Like I'd have got Baldur's Gate instead of whatever it was called. It does make sense because I think it came out on PC the year before.
No,
It left 1.0 the year before, didn't it?
it came out a few months, not like a whole year.
You know what? I'm gonna do a Derek thing.
All right, go ahead. You gonna look it
All
up?
right, we're gonna ask. No, we're just gonna ask Alexa.
Oh, okay.
Alexa, when did Baldur's Gate 3 come out for PlayStation 5?
Baldur's Gate 3 was for PlayStation 5 on September 6th,
September.
2023.
Yeah, I was gonna say it hasn't been that
Point for
old.
Gryffindor. Point for wait. What year did
Bitch,
you
I'm a
say?
Hufflepuff.
2023, right?
Yeah.
Point for Hufflepuff. Jesus, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to misidentify.
I identify as a Hufflepuff. Fuck you.
I identify as a Ravenclaw. Hey, what are you, Ed? Like Ravenclaw too, right? Or are you? No, I think he's a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, last time I took the test, which was years ago at this point, I was still with my ex. That was the first time around too. I said I was a Hufflepuff.
All right, so two Hufflepuffs and a Ravenclaw. We can get along.
Yeah.
I'm not an uppity Gryffindor, and I'm not a dubiously Slytherin.
Not
We just chilling,
dubious.
baby. We just chilling, baby.
Um. Uh.
Um,
Oh, go
man,
ahead.
now we're just waiting for the. I was just saying, now we're just waiting for the not co-op, the cross-play for Baldur's Gate, so Derek can join us. And we have a
Yes.
Gotcha game campaign.
Yes. Please. Please. That's all I want. I don't think I'm asking for too much. Am I? Am I asking for too
You're
much?
asking
No,
for a
they
lot.
already have an account. You can set up an account. Most games where you can set up an account is usually for crossplay. So I feel like it's in the works already.
Mm.
I'd rather have crossplay than DLC. But
Yeah.
that's just me. Now, what are you about to say, Derek?
Um. I've been. I was gonna go through what I've been playing. Um.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't played much. I've played a little bit of Fortnite, like we've been talking about. Um,
You've been
I've
out with family and sick, right?
yeah, exactly. So there was a solid 11 days where my computer was not on. Um, and
Yeah.
like we just said, we haven't talked in 17 days, so I've only been playing stuff in the last 6. Um, but I talked about on the last podcast, one of my biggest issues was that I just didn't have any room on my computer. Me editing this podcast shows I finally have room on my computer. I've got a ton of games just downloaded on standby in case somebody's like, "Hey, Derek, you want to play this? Derek, you want to play that?" I'm already ready. Um,
All right. Only game I can think of playing is Fortnite.
yeah, I mean that's all we ever really play, like us. But when it
Yeah.
comes to like my brother or like my other friends, I've got like Gears and
Oh yeah,
Halo and
Apex.
Apex, yeah, I've got all that shit downloaded now, and I've got room, and Fortnite actually loads in a decent amount of time because of that, because I've got room on my
Because you have
computer now.
room.
Yeah,
Room. Look at that.
so
Yeah. We'll test that out later today.
we will, we absolutely will. Um, what? Let's start back with Ed. What have you been watching?
Uh,
Damn.
what have I been watching? I mean, last
Didn't
thing I
you watched
watched.
that movie with Naomi? What movie? What movie did you watch with Naomi?
Oh yeah, we saw go see
Yeah.
Aquaman 2. Yeah,
Is it out?
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't even know it
Yeah.
was out.
yeah.
Yeah.
We went to go
So
see Aquaman 2. I forgot about that. Yeah, we were supposed to go. We were gonna go
yeah.
see. Not supposed to, but we're gonna
Wonka.
watch. No, no, we're not. No,
Oh.
he's not gonna watch Wonka.
I
We've
heard
been over
Wonka's
this.
good though.
I have heard Wonka's good too, but no, we were gonna. It was either between Aquaman 2 or, and we watched Aquaman 2 because she told me to pick, so I picked. And then next time we'll go see like Night Swim if it's still out. If it's not, then we'll probably just wait until like uh what you call it? Until Valentine's Day to go see like what you call it? What's that movie? Madam Web.
Okay, is there a trailer out for that yet?
Yeah, there's been a trailer out for it for a
Oh,
while.
you're right. There has. I actually knew that, and I didn't have any interest. That's right.
There's multiple trailers out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and yeah, I'm already checked out when it comes to that shit.
crazy.
Madam Web seems cool. I'm interested because I feel like the MCU is one thing, and the Spider portion of MCU is another thing. So Spider-Man portion is kind of new still. So I'm like I'm willing to see where it goes. What are you gonna do with Venom? Gonna do with Morbius? We're gonna do with these
Venom 3's
spider
poster is
people
out.
in Madam Web. You know, like there's
Yeah,
Madam
three
Web and
whole
like
ass spider
three
people
or
in Madam Web.
yeah,
Four
three
if you
other
count Madam
spider.
Web. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm counting. Yeah, like
Oh
her
yeah,
and
yeah.
the three other spider women that are there. So what are they gonna do with them? And is the Black Cat and
Black Cat and Silk are
Silk movie right?
part of the Spider Verse thing.
Are those confirmed?
Yeah, so I know the Black Cat and Silk movie was confirmed because it was confirmed the same time when they announced like Venom was getting another sequel and Morbius was coming out too.
I
So I
mean,
don't know what's
even
happening with that movie. The Craven movie actually doesn't look too bad if you
I
ask me.
thought it
Oh
looked
yeah,
like dog
Craven.
shit.
That's what we're supposed to see. Supposed to go see
It doesn't
Craven.
look. It doesn't. The Craven movie didn't look bad. I
When does
mean,
Craven
the
come out?
trailer wasn't a lot. I don't know. It got pushed back because of the writer's strike. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
wish
got
they
pushed
would have
back
done the
because of the
same thing
strike,
with
so we don't
Deadpool.
know.
Deadpool, like they
What
could
didn't?
have, but they could have pushed it back, but they chose not to. And as a result, because Ryan Reynolds is a writer on the movie, he's not allowed to ad lib. So I kind of
Why
wish
is he
that they
not?
had,
Wait,
because that's
why is he not
considered
allowed to add lib?
ad libbing is considered a form of writing. It's a form of changing the script. So you're not allowed to ad lib if you're a writer and an actor on the movie. You're not allowed to ad lib.
Crazy.
So
That's stupid.
he has to follow the script, which is
The
unfortunate.
ad libbing is the best part.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, maybe don't have Ryan. Maybe don't start filming the movie until the strike is over. Did you hear about the one of the things that nobody really brought up? Oh shit! One of the things that nobody really brought up is in all of the bullshit that, or in all of the like the contract negotiations. Um, now, what are the for voice acting in video games? You can actually they're allowed to use AI, like take your voice and use AI now. Like that kind of
Yeah,
went under the rug. Like nobody really saw that coming.
yeah. The voice actors are trying to like fight back on
Yeah.
because there was a what's his name, the guy who voices Adam Jensen in Deus Ex, and he does like a lot of other voices. he was like, I didn't get a phone call. He's like, I would consider a
Yeah.
well-known video game voice actor, and you think they would have called me
Yeah.
colleagues, but he's like,
Yeah,
they never called me.
crazy.
It's just a damn shame.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's trash.
so what else have you been watching, Quincy? Right? Because you were done, correct,
Uh,
Ed?
Ed
Sorry.
Ed
Yeah,
was no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, were you done, Ed?
I mean, there's nothing else that I really
I
been
mean,
watching. I haven't really watched any anime. The only thing that's happened is like I
yeah, like
finished the Shibuya arc of Jujutsu Kaisen, but that was like
Mm.
when it came out, and that was
Yeah.
what, like weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I am supposed to start watching Solo Leveling because when we went to go see Aquaman 2, Naomi was telling me about Solo
Mm.
Level because she's been reading the
The manhwa,
the actual
the webtoon.
yeah. So I was like, oh, I'll check it out.
Mm. So what you got, Quincy?
I was watching stuff on HBO Max. I can't remember what though. Nancy Drew. Oh, I watched Belle. Like, cause I
Oh
got
yeah.
like, was I sick? I don't know. I just really was not feeling well like last week sometime, and I was just like I just need something to watch. I was like, I feel like watching. Saw like something that my friends have recommended to me, and that saw Belle was on my watch list on
Mm-hmm.
HBO Max, so I watched Belle, and it wasn't bad. I didn't truly know what to expect. I just knew that it's take on Beauty and the, it's like Beauty and the Beast meets Dot Hack,
Mm.
and it was cool. Um, the singing was good. I always give strong props to when they change the lyrics of a song to actual English and not just humming, and also have mouth flaps match the English singing.
Oh
Because
wow.
most times they don't do that.
And what was
No.
this?
Bell.
Belle. Yeah, the CG looked good. The animation was good. The like the moral of the story, the heartfelt story was cool too. You know, if you're into it, I'd say give it a listen or a watch. Also, I know there was this other thing that Sujo Ghibli put out,
Oh yeah, the
like a
boy and the
new
heron.
movie, and it won. Yeah, there it goes. The one that won this animation. People are upset. I want to watch that.
Yeah, I do
More
too. Me and
from Sujo
the
Ghibli.
girls were talking about it. It's like how we wanted to see it.
Mm.
Told you we got bitches.
I don't have bitches. They did admit. They did admit to swarming Quincy like vultures.
Oh, so that was a
Yep.
thing that really happened.
Yep. Yes.
It was a thing
I
that really
don't talk
happened.
to these ladies. I'm just sitting here. I usually be by myself, minding my own black ass. And suddenly, I'm just surrounded by white women. Where's Ed?
That
uh,
is.
Um, I need an adult.
they are adults.
They are adults.
An adult that's successful. That's what.
They did swarm him. So I came in and they were immediately like, yeah, we were looking. I was like, oh yeah, Quincy told me about that. Hell, and then they told me, so I was like, yeah, like we were going on break, we saw him and everything, and like called his name, and he looked kind of confused at first because he was like, he's not used to people calling his name, and then called him again,
Oh,
and they were asking him, we're like, where's Edison? And I was like, damn. And I
they trying to
legitimately
figure
asked
out
him, I was
where
like,
to
damn, do y'all just
Edison.
swarmed him like a bunch of vultures? They was like, yeah, we did.
That's
I was like,
great.
oh.
Yeah, he's all flying. Yeah, no, that's what they did to me. I was fearing for my life. Oh
They're
man.
harmless.
Oh,
They
I
can't
forgot.
hurt you.
I watched the Barbie movie as well because it's on HBO Max.
Oh, no
Oh
spoilers.
yeah,
No spoilers
I
because I want to
technically
watch that.
watched
But
that
how was
too.
that?
It was good.
I feel like it
It was
wasn't
fun.
bad. I do feel like that the internet was going crazy, a bit overhyped. It's about what I expected. Like even with the internet's hype, it's expected.
I
Not a bad movie.
I mean, maybe you and I are in two different parts of the internet, but like I mostly saw it as an aesthetic thing more than anything else. Like it was kind of an excuse for a lot of
Yeah,
people to just
it's
wear
very
pink.
aesthetic. Yeah, it's very aesthetic. It's not a bad movie. You have some funny quips in there, some fun cameos. It's definitely like if you're into a little comedy, and as long as you don't also have a stick up your ass or like some female empowerment,
Mm.
give it a watch.
Mm. Yeah, if there's one person who definitely doesn't have any a stick up his ass about female empowerment, it's Quincy. Quincy Quincy is one of those people that was like, I like strong characters. I like strong female characters in my media. When we were in middle school, I'm like, cool. I don't know what that means. just I just
I
I like
don't
the
know what that
I like pretty
means.
colors, and Quincy's like, no, 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 no. We need strong female characters, and I'm like, all right. I have a feeling you're
I
right
do
about
like strong
this,
female
but
characters.
and then like
Like
things like
and that's how I know. Remember Me came out around that time too.
oh no, Remember Me was after high school.
Yeah, I don't think it was after high school because I remember talking to what's her face, and it was that chick in middle school that had the hugest crush on her. White girl, awkward,
Oh yeah, that was
glasses.
that was middle school, huh?
But it might not have been. It might not have been out. Just watching a trailer. I think they just dropped the
That's
trailer. You know,
that's
I don't
possible.
know
That's
when it came
possible.
out. Yeah, they dropped the trailer. But oh yeah, like it's a nice.
So is that all you've been watching?
Uh, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I was watching Static Shock when I wasn't feeling well either. So I
Oh,
was like,
you
need
definitely
something
went
to turn my brain
nostalgia.
off. Yeah, I need something to turn my brain. I'm not feeling well. Bell, and then I started watching a few episodes of Shock.
Mm.
And
Chuck's
I need to
solid.
go back to Nancy Drew because I was kept falling asleep. I kept falling asleep in and out. So I finished season 3 of Nancy Drew, but I don't remember. So I need to go back.
Mm.
But good stuff. Oh wait. I'm pretty sure I talked.
Talking about
I
what?
watched the I watched The Color Purple in theaters.
Yes, you did. You saw that with
Yeah,
Naomi or not Naomi, Mariah. Wrong person.
that'd be a twist. That would be a fucking twist.
That would be
It's
the
like you
biggest
saw
switch
what
of the century.
you saw with Naomi. I saw with Mariah. Word. This is crazy. We should just walk up with the opposite chicks and just be like, oh, what's up, and see who they gravitate toward.
Your whole ass girlfriend would
And then
gravitate towards
and
you.
if they
Yeah.
what if she doesn't? She's like, oh yeah, Ed's more. And then if they choose, then we drop the both of them. We go see them. It's like, yeah, bros over hoes. And then we just walk away.
Bros over hoes. Crazy.
And then we're sitting there, and all you hear during the previews is like, I loved it. Her nigga, shut up.
Dog, watching the movie.
Come
Golly.
on. Jeez, I need you to get over this before it starts. You on the previews right now. I need you to be over this before the movie starts. When the lights dim, that shit better simmer down.
That shit better simmer down. It better.
And I'll imagine just to drive home. I gave her everything.
Yo, yo, yo.
You wild, bro.
That's crazy.
But no, yeah, that's about all I've been watching, other than YouTube, and that's all. That's everyday shit. Just Philip DeFranco.
Yeah.
little things like that. Nothing. Oh, besides, what the fuck? What's his name is leaving? Matt Pat?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, MatPat's leaving YouTube.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
well,
he's leaving
okay.
YouTube.
He's like, okay. There's a lot of people who either left YouTube in December or are leaving currently. It's not nearly as dramatic as the internet is kind of making it out because he's still going to do Twitch stuff and he's still in
It's a good
charge of the
amount.
company.
Like I
But
didn't know. I didn't know what's his name was leaving. Freaking Meat Canyon.
Yeah, Meat
I didn't know
Canyon
he was
learning
leaving
too.
YouTube.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
leaving. Like a lot of YouTubers leaving. I think Jacksepticeye too.
I hadn't heard about Jacksepticeye. What's his face? Tom Scott is leaving.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of people are leaving YouTube and everything. And yeah, the MatPat thing. It's like Derek said. Like he still owns the company. All it is just the theory channels are now going to
Yeah.
basically their creative directors.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
Amy
Not
gets
to
style
mention,
theory.
he said he'll appear in videos. Like he
Some
said, he's
videos,
leaving like
yeah,
videos every now
yeah,
and then. Yeah, like every now
yeah,
and then. Effectively, he's stepping down
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
from
So
just being
he's
like the face.
yeah, like now Amy, like the main because I don't know who owns or who's the creative director of each theory thing. So like Amy's now style theory, she's gonna do that, and then the other ones they're gonna be part of the other three channels and stuff. Don't know what's gonna happen with GT Live. Probably it's probably gonna stay the same, or just pre-recorded stuff. It's probably no longer gonna be live.
hmm
But yeah, no, because he does like a lot of other stuff, and you say he has a whole company where they talk to other like creators about stuff or other businesses in general. Because it's not just about the YouTube creator thing. It's he
yeah,
literally is a consultant for other businesses. They come in and they consult and they
Yeah.
talk about all that stuff, and like they have like they can do legitimate things, like him and his wife.
yeah.
Yeah, like spend time with their kids. It's a lot. Like
Oh,
YouTube, and then the
con-
thing about it is like you just get used to the shit. Like some creators are just like I'm. Even though it's been a while, they're still like the main. Like they still the person that does the main planning. They still write the script if there is a script. They do the editing still. They they're the face of the company, so they're doing the long recording hours up late
Yeah,
doing the editing and stuff. Like there's still people who are like they're like, yeah, this is how you do YouTube. Yeah, but it seems like the ones that have a full team, like Philip DeFranco and Mr. Who's the Boss and MKBHD, the ones with actual teams, they're kind of mitigating, spreading the work around employees.
yeah,
And Angry Joe is longer than YouTube's been out. Remember that.
yeah, that's true.
That he predates YouTube. He's still doing it. That blows my mind. Same thing with Film Theory because he was a part of that thing. Not Film
Hmm.
Theory. Nostalgia Critic.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the whole thing that blew up at one point too.
Yeah, Nostalgia Critic also predates YouTube,
Yeah,
which is wild,
right.
right? Like when I hear that, I was like, "That's crazy. You guys been around for forever."
Yeah. Um.
you know, I'm
Well,
glad he's
speaking of
doing good things.
YouTubers or channels that are no longer gonna exist, are either of one of you familiar with Ace Family?
That sounds
sounds
familiar.
familiar.
I think I've heard about them. Yeah, I heard about them.
They're they're one of those family vlog channels, um,
Hmm.
and the man, the husband, is A, notorious for trying to scam the fans, and B, notorious for getting into like boxing matches, um, and
Hmm.
losing them mostly. And so they have just announced that they're getting a divorce, and the channel is essentially going away. Um,
Damn.
Oh,
And
speaking of family vlog channel, I mean to
okay.
cut you off, but there's news like a whole. There's it's crazy because this person I've been watching on TikTok. I finally followed them because usually I'll just be scrolling and I'll see them do it, and they do like a parody thing of like, the family channels and everything,
Hmm.
where it's like the parents and then the kids and whatnot, and it's like the darker side of it is what her skits are supposed to like try and show, where it's
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, they're not actually like this. Like the main character is Little Sandwich, and it's a girl. Like the character Little Sandwich is a girl, but on the for the channel, like they make their daughter be a boy and everything, and they make her play like way younger than what she actually is. She's like she's actually 14, but they have her play like an 8-year-old boy and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's like saying that. So that got on the news, like the actual news, reporting about how bad family vlog channels are, and
Oh wow.
that yeah, like, and that TikTok creator, they actually got her and she talked about it on there and everything. I was like, oh whoa, that's like super cool. Like that happened because they were saying like, yeah, family vlog channels, they're not really good. Like they're borderline abusive for kids. Like
Yes.
because they're
Yeah. 100%. It
yeah.
stunts
So
them. Like they're supposed
yes.
to be growing mentally and they're not because all of a sudden from the moment they're born they're in the entertainment spotlight.
Yeah, and like they have to act a certain way and everything. Because one of the
Yep.
skits it was like, "Oh, you're not acting very surprised," and it's like, "Well, I'm not surprised. I've done this like 8 times already,
Yeah.
like, like for the same thing." And so I was like, "Yeah." And so it was. I just that you were talking about the family vlogs, and that reminded me of that. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's like a big thing."
Yeah. That's
But back to
fucking
the Ace family
crazy.
about like boxing and
No, they're just I
divorce.
mean they're just they're one of those channels that I see get a lot of shit because I mean they very much one he's trying to scam his fans several times. Two,
Horrible.
he's such a dick in the boxing promos, and then he gets his shit kicked in. So there's that. They're also like I don't know if they're wealthy anymore, but they were so like one of those channels that was very much bragging about their wealth and showing their mansion, and they definitely like grew out of relatability to the fans because they'd be
Hmm.
like, "Oh, isn't it we made sure that when we had our second mansion built, we made sure that the gym was close to the bedroom because we didn't want to have to walk 50 feet away." And he's like being 100% serious. And it's just like, damn, you do not relate to your fans anymore. Like that is such a first world problem, and you don't even realize it.
It's actually crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, especially if you guys don't know who they are, it's not really worth bringing up.
I've
But
seen them pop up every now and again because I think the only family channel that I like follow, and I use the term loosely, it's really just like I press subscribe one time because the string of videos that I watched with them were fun
hmm
and I liked their dynamic. Because like their daughter is barely in it for one. It's really just them talking about like, oh yeah, being parents, and like she's usually like messing with her man and everything. Like, oh, because she's Mexican and he's black.
hmm
So she'll be like, "Oh yeah, Spanish test with my husband." Blah 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 blah. So it's really just them. It's really more of a couples channel than a family channel.
yeah,
And I subscribed because like the string of videos, like I said, that I watched, they were pretty fun. So I was like, "Oh man, if there's more of this, like I wouldn't mind popping in and seeing this." But ever since then, I like just have not watched a single video of theirs ever since then. And that was like maybe a year ago or two at this point, and I just haven't unsubscribed. So. But I will see like the Ace Family stuff since I'm subscribed to technically a family channel.
yeah.
So
That's always how that goes.
yeah, algorithm be algorithm and good old algae rhythm.
Oh,
Yeah.
my favorite algae rhythm. Um.
Hmm.
So anything else, Quincy? Anything else you've been watching?
I think Quincy's in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll go then. Um, I finally finished. I finally got caught up. I guess what I should really say on all 4 seasons of.
It
Um,
took you long enough. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a little bit too early. My bad. Keep keep
of
going.
Star Trek Lower Decks.
Uh, it
Um,
took you long enough. There we go. I got it.
there you. Eventually, you got there. Um, but yeah, it was it's a solid show. I really really dug it. Like especially when you've got a show like it like that, and you're going 4 seasons. And I did really enjoy season one. I One of my fears going through it was that it was gonna peter off a little bit, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm especially because like season two, like season one I really liked, and then season two I liked even more, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, this is gonna drop off at some point, and I'm really dreading that. And then season three, as a whole, season three was great. I really dug season three, and it wrapped up really nice a lot of the threads that had been going throughout the season. So I very much was very very happy to finish it and see what was gonna happen. And I got to season four, and again I was kind of dreading season four because I'm like, when is this gonna finally fail and be a crap show? And I got into the second episode of season four, and I know you guys don't usually watch the clips when I send you guys Star Trek stuff, but I got to season four, and there's an episode where there's an episode where they go to an alien zoo
Hmm.
because the alien zoo accidentally has humans in it, and so they're trying to
Hmm.
negotiate to get the humans out of the zoo.
Hmm.
And um it's the kind of if you've watched enough cartoons, you've seen episodes that are like this where um there'll be a character like there'll be something that's really cute, and and then all of a sudden it turns deadly and evil, right? Like
Yeah.
the beginning of Big Hero 6 does that. There's basically the butterfly episode of SpongeBob is essentially that kind of story, even though the butterfly is obviously
Yeah.
not going to kill them. And so there's this thing
As
called
far as you know, do you not know the ramifications of a butterfly interacting with a starfish and a sea sponge?
I mean,
Detrimental to the ecosystem of the underwater seas.
I think
SpongeBob SquarePants?
yeah. I'm describing an episode of of Lower Decks. Um, and so they find this thing called the Moopsie. It's in the zoo, and it seems totally fine. It doesn't seem like there's anything that big of a deal about it. But when it gets out, the the caretaker of the zoo is like, "Oh fuck, everything!" Like he just starts cursing. He's like, we gotta go. It's fucking deadly." And they're like, "What?" It's the most adorable creature you've ever seen. And they're like, no, that thing drinks your bones." And they're like, "How is that even possible?" And then they show it. It jumps on this evil creature and drinks its bones. And they're like, "Oh fuck!" And the reason that the episode stands out to me so much, and the reason I think it's so fucking funny, is because unlike the things that I mentioned previously, like especially the beginning of Big Hero 6, um,
Hmm.
the reason I love the Moopsie so much is because it never stops being adorable. It's fucking cute, even when it's like sucking people's bones out of their bodies. It's so fucking cute. And I was dying the entire fucking episode. I'm just like, nah, this might be like we're 4 seasons deep, and this is my favorite episode
Yeah.
easily. I fucking loved it. Um, I will say, Quincy asked when I started it. He's like, "Is it accessible to people who don't really know Star Trek?" And I was like, yeah, you can watch it. Like it is better if you've seen other Star Trek stuff. But if you haven't seen Star Trek before, you can still enjoy it. Um, the ending to season 4 is the one exception. Like even I was a little lost when they reveal who the big bad for season 4 was. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I have no idea who this character is. I had to look it up. He's a character from one episode of The Next Generation. He's not he's a very, very obscure character, and they chose to make him the villain. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird flex, but all right. Um, but that's the one exception on that show where I'm like, this was probably a bad idea. This is probably too much for a new fan. But by that point, you're already invested in all of the main characters of Lower Decks anyway, so it doesn't hurt you too much.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I absolutely loved. Um, I absolutely loved the show. I'm probably gonna start it over again. That's how much I liked it. Um, and I'm very much a fan. I haven't watched a whole lot else. I watched Lupin the Third, the first, which is like the CG Lupin the Third movie.
Uh-huh.
Um, and that is a lot of fun. Um, Especially if you like Lupin the Third or if you like the Lupin the Third movies. It doesn't do anything to like stand out, with the exception of the way it looks. Um, but it's a very very fun movie. Um, yeah. Other than that, I've been very pretty much same shit, different day. So yeah.
Same shit, different day.
But yeah. Is there anything else anybody wanted to talk about on this week's episode of the podcast before we have to end it? Since I know we're trying to do a few things this week.
Oh yeah.
Not really. Not me. Not coming from me.
No.
Okay. All right, then we will end it there, and we will see you guys next week. I love you, my honkies, and yeah, go ahead and say it,
Big
Quincy.
jiggly black titties.
There you go.